Chris Rock dropped the new fucking Tambourine shit. How you feel about the whole Tambourine stand up?
All right, my take on the Tambourine stand up. I'm going to start from start to finish instead of going through everything or whatever. Just wrapping it up in a couple of words. However, I got to start by saying just the presentation was wonderful to me.
Really?
Yeah. I felt the lights, the camera angles, the auditorium, all those things work visually.
I can agree with that. Okay, go ahead.
Those things work extremely well for me.
Presentation, visually, looking at it. Yeah. All right, got you.
All right. So I saw it on Wednesday. I saw it on Wednesday. And
I think it did drop Valentine's. It did drop Valentine's Day.
Okay, so then I'm lying then. I saw it Thursday then.
Okay.
I saw it Thursday night, and I have to say that it was kind of hard for me just to watch the comedy special the way he kicked it off in light of what just took place in Stoneman Douglas.
Okay.
So he pretty much kicked it off by talking about shooting, equality, and people getting shot and these things and that nature, and it's just like, oh wow,
yeah,
damn, that shit couldn't have worked out any more fucked up for you, bruh. Because there's a school shooting that just took place, and immediately you're still feeling some type of way about the school shooting, and
yeah.
To hear him talk about it, and then he still leads into the next joke talking about bullying and all these things, and you're like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? The vibe ain't working right now.
Okay,
the vibe, even though as a man on a certain level,
you kind of feel
I'm agreeing with him.
Yeah. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So, getting further into it is where it kind of really where it really got funny for me is when they did that camera close up when he was just like, man, yo, it's fucked up out here for a man to be cheating. Fellas don't cheat, and they really got in his fucking face.
Yeah.
With the camera, and really looked like he's about to cry and shit. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, let me hear what you got to say now. And I'm saying, like, he breaking that down and talking about like, yo, why he cheated and all those things. That part of the bit got hilarious for me. You know what I mean? It got hilarious for me, but I don't want to go out on a limb and say it was the best comedy special. I see people out there saying, was this worth $40 million? I didn't pay him $40 million. So I can't say what it's worth. However, I'll say I enjoyed it.
All right. I'll say for $40 million, it was not worth $40 million. I feel like the production of it could have been a little bit better. I feel like the venue itself could have been a little bit larger for Chris Rock and his celebrity as a stand-up comedian.
And I'm sorry to cut you off. I know I just took a whole long time to explain my point, and I'm jumping on yours, but I don't get why people are speaking on the money part. Like, how could you speak on the money?
I'm not really not in any position to speak on the money.
Right. So,
get your money, bro.
But what I'm saying, how are you telling me what it's worth or not worth?
Because I'm looking at the special, and I feel like it's not big enough for $40 million. I feel like.
Well, why should you look at it like that? Is what I'm saying.
No, because you brought it into it. I didn't know how much he got into that. I didn't know how much he got for that shit.
All right. But I've seen people on social media saying that, like, he got $40 million for that, and I guess because of the whole Monique thing, and highlighting people's dollars, and you know what I'm saying. All right, so go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's definitely gonna bring the viewers to Netflix, so I can understand that. But when I was watching it, it definitely wasn't classic. I felt like the last Dave Chappelle stand-up was classic. His stand-up, to me, it wasn't classic. Like,
I thought it was.
I think I chuckled maybe twice during the entire thing.
I don't think it's about chuckling.
It wasn't. It was. And I don't know if it's the grown man in me, and it's the grown man in Chris Rock that kind of changed. So, I mean, when we came in earlier, you kind of did the nigga they still spinning, nigga they spinning. Like that was the Chris Rock that I'm used to. Right.
As a kid, though.
So as a kid, but still as a getting older or whatever. I feel like with this one, it was just like, yo, I felt like this nigga was fucking.
I'm gonna defend Chris Rock.
I feel like Chris Rock was trying to get out the blocks for the fucking marathon or for the sprint or whatever, and kind of tripped up a little bit getting out the blocks. I feel like he couldn't get his footing right on this one.
Okay,
and it just seemed like that the way how he just kind of started off with the shooting.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just like okay, I don't know exactly when this was filmed. But it just seemed a little bit out of touch. Because if you think about it, when he started off, we're into the equality and I want to see the same amount of white kids being shooted and I want to see the white mom, I felt like, all right,
yeah,
that would have been funny 6 months ago.
I'm going to defend Chris Rock, though. But go ahead, yeah.
I feel like that would have been funny 6 months ago, but not necessarily right now in 2018. So I assume that this was filmed 6 months ago or a little bit more when a lot of these shootings was a little bit more prevalent or when it was brought to our attention through mass media and stuff like that.
Right.
So overall, I thought it was good, but I didn't really laugh that hard throughout the thing. I was just like, okay, I see how that's funny.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily laughing right now.
Okay.
And I was watching this. I watched it twice.
Yeah.
Last night I watched it again, not knowing that we was going to talk about it, but I watched it just to kind of, all right, was there anything that I missed? Because a lot of people was hitting me up and they was just telling me like, yo, this shit is funny as fuck, blah, 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 blah. And I love Chris Rock as a stand-up.
Okay.
I feel like Chris Rock is like one of the dopest stand-up comedians out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I felt like this one just kind of fell short. And one of the things that kind of told me that is there was a specific couple in the front. If you watch the show again, y'all watch the shit again.
They were laughing hella hard.
No, it was one that wasn't laughing.
Okay, I saw the couple that was like, it was like a big kind of fat dude with a.
It was a husky. Yeah, he was a husky dude,
and he was clapping and laughing at every goddamn thing. What's Chris Rock saying?
It wasn't him, but
I know.
Him and his girl was there in the front.
Yeah.
And, what he said, the only wife done checked out a long time ago, and the only reason why she came is because you got tickets or whatever the case. Like, it was a couple hours in the front, and my expression was kind of similar to their expression in the front, where some shit was hitting, but then other shit it was just kind of like, yo, what happened, bro?
All right, so can I chime in now?
Yeah.
All right. I seen those sentiments being broadcasted across the internet, and people feeling those way, and seeing reviews and stuff like that in regards to the Chris Rock special. And some of the things that you're saying are absolutely true. Like some of the moments I feel like they were forcing. Like the reason why I did they spinning nigga, because I checked your temperature a little earlier and I saw where you were gonna go with this. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And I saw when he did the whole bit about Zuckerberg, Zucker. He was trying to do that. They spinning nigga, they spinning again. Yeah. And it wasn't working for me. It wasn't working for me. And I'm gonna tell you why it's not working, because my nigga, you can go on Instagram and you see a fucking meme that's gonna have you fall out in your fucking chair. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day when he was coming out with things like that, there wasn't those outlets for you to see those things like that. So it's a little harder to be funny these days, because
if the beat is right, I'm gonna dance all night.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a little hard to be funny these days, because every funny motherfucker that you know has the ability to put something out there in a funny context for it to circulate and become a fucking viral video or a viral meme or viral this or viral that. So it's hard to be that funny that Eddie Murphy was, or motherfucking Chris Rock was back in the day, and everybody back in the day. You said you liked the Dave Chappelle last special.
Yes.
Let's keep it real. That Dave Chappelle last special, was it really that funny, or was it more so insightful?
I think it was both.
Okay, then Chris Rock was definitely that as well. As a man, I felt like, damn, this is why we need comedians, bro. Because he's saying how I feel, he's saying how I think, and he's able to make a joke out of it.
Yes, I feel exactly how you feel about it.
Right.
But when watching it, it just didn't come across as funny. It came across as, yo, Chris Rock is up here dropping jewels.
Yeah. But isn't that what comedy is?
It came across as you watching somebody like, you go to you have your fucking corporate meetings at the job where they say, all right, dress up nice and da 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 da, and you have this corporate motherfucker out there having a speech, right? And we know that I can't relate to you as a corporate motherfucker, but you trying to relate to me, you break it down to my level, and you throw a couple of jokes in there where it's just like, all right, this is funny.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what it was with Chris Rock. I feel like it wasn't necessarily a comedy special. It was like, yo, I'm dropping jewels, and it was a couple of funny moments in there.
Okay.
I feel like it was more of a speech than a fucking special.
And you know why I enjoyed it? Because it was authentic to him. Okay. Because you can't. How do you not pretend like you're not a millionaire? How do you pretend that you're not popular? How do you pretend like these things aren't who you are now?
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? You can't just be a clown ass motherfuckers and go on stage and clown every fucking thing. That's not who you are. That's not how you think. That's not how your psyche is.
Dave Chappelle did it, and I'm gonna tell you how he did it. And the thing where he was talking about, I went in line and I saw all the Trump voters and da 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 da. And, it was one thing that was apparent to me. It was just like, yo, Trump ain't fighting for you. He fighting for me. Like, I'm a rich motherfucker. You poor.
Right.
Like, I saw, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but Chris Rock did the same thing several times.
How?
He's like, yo, you bought your wife is disconnected, but y'all bought tickets. She came with you because she come here to see you.
Okay.
She came here for me, motherfucker.
But I don't think it hit the same way.
It didn't hit the same way, but it was the same joke, though.
True. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm Chris Rock, man. And he did that several times.
Listen.
Several times he said, I'm Chris Rock. The cops don't think I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a nigga walking around. Hey, go this motherfucker. Hey, Chris Rock.
You know what? I think what it is that it might be, I think his brand of comedy is outdated. For me. Because when I think about it,
I don't understand how our generation, people from our generation would say outdated. That doesn't make any.
Like
it's
you
not
just
that,
said.
I don't want to insult your intelligence or insult you. You know what I'm saying? Love and respect you. You know what I mean? I guess what I'm trying to say is, look, we all grow up. We are grown now. We've experienced things a lot differently.
Yes.
We cannot hope to get the same classic feel anymore.
I agree.
I want somebody that's growing as I've grown.
Grow and be funny at the same time. Grow and be the same funny.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Grow and be the same funny that you were 10 years ago. When I think about Killer Messenger, right? I think that was his last major stand-up.
He's 45, bro. We're not 45. He's older than we are.
He's 10 years older than we.
Yeah, 10 years is a difference, bro.
Okay, but let's think about it like this.
You know what I'm saying?
When I think about Killer Messenger, you know what was the dopest thing for me about watching Killer Messenger?
What?
Was that this dude filmed this shit in pretty much four different continents, and he was able to memorize his jokes to the point where you could fucking splice them shits up, and he delivered it the same way every audience in 4 different fucking continents.
Right.
And that shit was funny as fuck. And I feel like he was on it. I feel like this one,
but
he wasn't necessarily on it like that.
But
like,
we forget.
It was funny, but it was subtle funny. It wasn't like, yo, this nigga really, really tapped into my soul to let me feel how funny this shit was. I didn't get that vibe from that.
I listen, and let me tell you why I got the vibe from that. Because I got the challenges that he had, right? And I saw the hiccups that he had, and I say there was some dull moments in this stand-up.
Definitely.
But I see why, though. I see somebody who was trying to recapture something that they once had. And I see why it failed, because you're not that same person you once were. You're not. You've grown and you're elevated. And
definitely.
If you think about the times of today are a lot different, bro. Them classics, a kid could watch it now and be like, yo, this is garbage. This is hot garbage. They like different things. They like the Jonas Jones, or you know what I'm saying, all the Instagram comedians and all the ones that's making the quick, you know what I'm saying,
attention spans.
Mr. Banks and all that. It's a different vibe, and I related to the hiccups that he had on the stand up, and I related to a lot of the jokes that he had about relationships, and you know what I'm saying, sometimes you just gotta be that tambourine, motherfucker. I related to a lot of those jokes. I did.
He had trouble getting out the blocks, bro, and never really found his footing for this stand up. Like I said, man, I love Chris Rock as a stand up comedian.
You can't say that.
I love him as a stand up comedian. No, I still
because
do
we
love
don't know
him as
who
a
he
stand-up.
is no more.
Not necessarily I don't know who he is.
That's what you're saying.
I feel like okay, with Netflix, he definitely has. I'm assuming that he has a situation sort of similar to Dave Chappelle. Mm-hmm. So this is not the last one, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like in the next year or so, another one is gonna come out. Yeah. And I feel like just like what Dave Chappelle did,
it's gonna get funnier.
It's gonna get funnier. Even though the first one that Dave Chappelle did on Netflix was dope, the second one was definitely doper than the first one. And I feel like it's gonna be the same thing with Chris Rock. I feel like he's gonna look at it. He seemed a little bit uncomfortable on the stage.
Of course, you're coming off of. Everybody was expecting him to talk about the divorce and all this stuff like that.
But that's assuming that.
And he did it.
That obviously this is not like okay. It's not like okay. All right, I haven't done a comedy special in 10 years, and this was the first one. Nah, they do fucking tours, and they tour all over the United States, all over the world, or whatever, and they fine tune the shit. And he got to the point where he fine tuned it, where he said, "All right, this is the state that I want to film my special in. This is the day that I want to do it, X, Y, and Z." And I feel like it just kind of hit the mark, bro. It was funny, but it wasn't like, yo, nigga, you gotta check out this Chris Rock shit.
Yeah.
When the Dave Chappelle shit dropped, I was like, yo, you gotta check out the Dave Chappelle. Even fucking D-Ray Davis, I was telling people about his shit. I was like, yo, I don't really like D-Ray that much as a stand-up, but I was like, yo, that shit was dope. Check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's the kind of, with Chris Rock shit right now, I feel like it's kind of hard to recommend it. I feel like it's hit or miss right now. It's just like, yo, check it out. Tell me if you like it or not. It wasn't like, yo, this shit funny.
And that's what I like about it. It's like, check it out and tell me if you like it or not. If you don't like it, I'm not going to judge you because I guess you can't relate.
Okay.
And I feel like I could relate. You know what I mean? So.
All right. Moving on.